What is going on, guys? It's another video from Hazmat Trucker, and I am stuck waiting to load at the refinery here, so I figured, hey, why not bang out another video, because why not? But anyways, what I wanted to talk about today is what a typical night looks like, or day, but really night since I'm on nights. What a typical night looks like for me as a fuel hauler for Gemini Motor Transport. And again, this is going to vary depending upon where exactly you're at. I know back east, for example, on the East Coast, they have a lot more drivers, and you don't go as far. There's a lot more stores that are closer together. Out west, specifically for Wyoming, for us in Cheyenne, we typically only cover 3 of the stores in Wyoming, which are Wamsutter, way out west. It's about 3 hours west of Cheyenne. We have Laramie, which is an hour west of Cheyenne, and then we have the Cheyenne store, of course, which is where our trucks are parked. We do have a store way out west in Jamestown or Green River, but they have their own crew. Those guys run super tankers or quad axle trailers with a quad axle truck as well, and sleepers, and I think they have 13 speeds if I'm not mistaken. I know they are manual. Sometimes those guys will help us out in Wamsutter, but generally speaking, they take care of their own stores, and then they also help out Salt Lake City as well, because they're not too far. They're only about 150, 160 miles from Salt Lake. But as far as us in Cheyenne, we have Wamsutter, Laramie, Cheyenne that we take care of. We also will occasionally go help out the Sidney, Nebraska store, maybe even a North Platte. And then occasionally, like once every few weeks or so, we'll help out one of the Colorado stores, which for me, it's only been the Brush, Colorado store, which is way out there off of I-76, or Hudson, which is pretty close to Denver, or a Bennett, which is also pretty close to Denver. I haven't been to, we have quite a few Colorado stores, but those 3 are the only ones that I have been to. Hope they send me to some more. So that's generally about 7 stores that I'll cover on a fairly regular basis. And generally speaking, because we're 100 miles from Denver, so if we do come down to Denver to pull fuel back up to Wyoming, that adds some time. We're about 250 miles from North Platte, Nebraska, that we pull out of occasionally as well, and then we're about 140 or so miles to the east of the Sinclair refinery that we'll pull out of. And then obviously we have a Magellan pipeline in Cheyenne that we'll pull out of frequently as well. And then we have right now, there's about 3 different places in Denver that I'm pulling out of on a regular basis. But that is about it. So it's going to be a combination of one of those 7 stores or multiple of those 7 stores. Typically we're focused on the 3 Wyoming stores: Wamsutter, Laramie, Cheyenne. And so a very common night I'll have is they'll have me load in Cheyenne. We'll take a load out to Wamsutter, deliver it, go back to Sinclair, 45 minutes, and then load another load for Wamsutter, go deliver it in Wamsutter, and then on the way back, they might have me either pull another load from Sinclair to either Laramie or Cheyenne. That's pretty rare. Or more commonly, they'll have me go all the way back to Cheyenne to load at Magellan for a Cheyenne local. And it's a good 12-hour night. Even just 2 Wamsutters with good road conditions is about a 10 and a half hour night, unless you get stuck at the inventory shutdown, which does happen in Sinclair, and so that'll put you back to about 12 hours at that point. Or they'll have you do 3 Laramie loads out of Cheyenne, and then a local Cheyenne after that, or any combination of Laramie's and Cheyennes. But generally speaking, I'm scheduled for at least 10 to 12 hours on a regular basis. And most of the time I can handle it. Obviously, as we're coming into winter, that's going to be a bit of a different story because we have to slow down for the road conditions if they are bad. Or there's just going to be various delays because of road closures, or we may have to go around if there's an accident or something like that. But tonight I'm doing a unique load, pulling a load out of Denver all the way back up to Wamsutter, so I'll actually do about 550 or so miles tonight. So it's pretty much a one and done, especially with the rack lines that we've had to deal with recently. But you'll have some other significant runs that I've done on a fairly regular basis, but not too often. Like they'll send me all the way back. They'll send me all the way out to North Platte, Nebraska to load, and I'll bring a load all the way back to Laramie, which is about a 4.5 hour drive if it's good conditions, something like that. And you might be able to squeeze in a local Cheyenne load after that, but generally speaking, not so much. Otherwise, we stay in Wyoming, which is nice because I don't like dealing with the traffic that comes with coming down to Colorado, and then also the drunks late at night as well. But it is what it is. I'm paid by the hour, and hours are hours. So if they want me to load out of here, and they're very price focused, so a lot of it's driven on what refinery or loading rack has the lowest price. So at the end of the day, we typically get our hours. And I think my very slowest week over the last, since I've been hired here, since I started September of last year, so just over a year now, my slowest week was like 49 hours. Everything else has been, on average, I've averaged 57 hours a week for my first year. So otherwise, you're going to get your hours, unless you're not feeling well and you need to throw back a load because you don't think you can safely deliver it, or whatever it is, whatever the situation may be. Again, we don't have forced dispatch here, but they keep you busy, and even on some of the longer runs, generally speaking, you're able to get out of the truck several times a night, and more commonly than not, most typically, I'd say on average, we're only spending an hour and a half in the truck at max, and then we're moving on with our day, or unloading or loading at that point, and then getting back in the truck, and then spending another max hour and a half on a normal night anyways. But since we are so far apart from the stores, we do average, I would say, somewhere between 350 miles to 400 miles a night, just depending upon what the loads are. The truck that we have, that we got brand new, I think in mid-January of this year, already has 121,000 miles on it between my slip seat and I. So that gives you a kind of a perspective on how many miles we average per night. But if you guys have any further questions on what a average day as a fuel hauler in Wyoming for Gemini Motor Transport looks like, or any other questions for that matter, just let me know in the comments section down below. And if you guys liked this video and found it helpful, please consider giving me a like and subscribe. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.